When you start learning Japanese, all of the steps can be quite overwhelming, and it can be difficult to figure out whether your study method is efficient or not. The 4 study fundamentals of Japanese are as follows. First, you need to know Hiragana and Katakana. Second is you need to build your vocabulary. Third is you need to have a good foundation of grammar. And then fourth is your ability to understand Kanji. So one component can take longer to study than the other, such as grammar and Kanji for instance. And if you're lost on how to study efficiently, then you can potentially progress even slower.
悪いやつだな。真面目にやれ。
やっている。
So if you're scared of the early stage, then these are the 5 common mistakes you want to avoid as a beginner. First and foremost is not following the correct stroke order for Hiragana and Katakana. So when I first started learning Hiragana and Katakana, I did not copy the way it should be written. Instead, I copied exactly how the characters looked, which is wrong. Try not to do the same thing because the Japanese language system, whether Hiragana, Katakana, or Kanji, have equal proportions in how they should be written out, and native speakers are immediately able to tell when you wrote something in a funny order, which can sometimes lead to them not understanding what you're trying to say through your writing. So be careful for that one. So my tip to memorize Hiragana and Katakana is by writing out the entire sheet from memory. Some charts that you want to follow from Pinterest, for instance, should have the stroke order guide on it so you can follow accordingly. And you can also, of course, go on YouTube and search for guides that are available. A quick word for the sponsorship of this video as well is another method that I think is really useful, which is an app called MochiKana. It saves you the pain from jumping between multiple resources, and it teaches you stroke order to sample vocabulary. So if you want to learn Hiragana and Katakana in just 1 week, then you might want to check this one out. Many people learn something once then never review it again, or would review at random times, which leads to forgetting what they've just learned. For example, many learners can master Hiragana, but when it comes to Katakana, they suddenly can't remember the characters. This is often the first sign that the review method is inefficient. With MochiKana, there is a golden time feature that uses the spaced repetition system, which reminds learners to review again during the time that they're most likely to forget. Instead of guessing when to review or wasting time on ineffective revision, the app automatically schedules review sessions at an optimal time, helping learners remember what they've just studied with much less effort. MochiKana also divides vocabulary and kana into 5 levels of memorization, from level 1 just learned to level 5 long-term memory. You can see this by viewing the notebook feature. The app has 4 main product features: learning, reviewing, conversation practice, and writing. Firstly, through learning games, Hiragana and Katakana are introduced in the form of flashcards with audio, image, pronunciation guide, and memory tips. I think this is efficient because after each lesson, there's a challenge round where you can take harder quizzes with less clues than the learning quizzes. And if there are learning games, there are also reviewing games. Like I mentioned, the Golden Time notification reminds you to review through comprehensive quizzes, including reading, writing, and listening. Secondly, there is the practice conversation feature. Another great addition to this app is you can learn basic Japanese conversation, where Mochi introduces a scenario, then guides learners to use each phrase in that particular situation. Last but not the least is writing. And of course, you cannot instill Hiragana and Katakana into your memory without writing them down. That's why the writing feature guides you with detailed stroke order from basic characters to advanced. To download MochiKana, just open Google Play or App Store and search MochiKana, or you can also experience the website version on Google search. Thank you so much, MochiKana, for sponsoring this video. So, mistake number 2 is not applying the vocab and grammar that you learned in a sentence. After learning a word or grammar point, make sure that you are also learning it in multiple contexts so that you can solidify the meaning in your brain and know how you can use it in different situations. What you can do is you can write your own sentences in a notebook. The third mistake is leniency from feedback. So I know that all of us are very shy to ask help from native speakers, but trust me, this does more good than anything else. Don't just make your own sentences. Try to have them checked by a native speaker or AI tools like Gemini. Mistake number 4 is studying individual kanji in isolation. Always learn vocabulary first in its original spelling instead of just learning it one by one. This sticks to your memory better by using it in context. I remember using the dictionary app called Takobato since they have pre-made lists for many things including vocabulary, kanji, counters, and many more. You don't have to memorize the kanji stroke order since that might be too overwhelming at first. Just memorize the meaning of kanji, how they are used in words. Also, if you can, try to write them once or twice. And lastly, mistake number 5 is not speaking early into your studies. So I'm sure you've heard of this a lot, but just to remind you once again that speaking is very, very important. Remember that there are 4 skills to acquire any language. That is speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Out of all of them, the ultimate goal of fluency is to achieve a good skill in speaking. What I suggest you do is you shadow a video for 10 to 15 minutes to familiarize your mouth with speech flow. You can find a group of Japanese learners or a community of people with the same interests as you, for example, gaming and so on, then practice with those people. You can use apps like HelloTalk or try speaking to yourself. MochiKana has a practice conversation feature as well to accommodate to that. Think and speak in Japanese as much as possible, and eventually your brain will adjust on its own. So there you have it, you guys. Those were the 5 common beginner mistakes and how to avoid them. If you feel a little discouraged, don't worry because I've been there. I felt the same way for a really long time and yet I'm still here. These are just some tips on how you can save time, of course, but in no way, shape, or form am I endorsing the idea that speed is everything to fluency. You can set immediate goals for yourself, but what matters is not how quickly you can master a language, but how willing you are to still continue despite the difficulty of everything along the way. Consistency over speed is what they say. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then hit a thumbs up and comment down below what you want to see next. Subscribe to my channel as well for more Japanese updates. If you have any more questions, then just leave them in the comment section down below. I make sure to respond to every inquiry that you guys may have. じゃあ見てくれてありがとうございます。また今度ね。バイバーイ。
Michi is at a Japanese restaurant and is making an order. 注文はうどん一つ。うどん一つ。うどん一つ。うどん一つ。うどん一つ。うどん一つ。Fantastic! You've learned a useful phrase for ordering food.
You can change it to the name of any other food.
ご注文は
天ぷら一つ。
You can also change the number to indicate the quantity you want.
ご注文は
うどん二つ。
For a more formal way, you can add this word at the end of the phrase. For example,
ご注文は
うどん一つお願いします。
Michi is at a Japanese restaurant and is making an order.
ご注文は
うどん一つ。
Fantastic. You've learned a useful phrase for ordering food. You can change it to the name of any other food.
OK。